Hi guys, we're back again. Boys here from Menza Gaming, here with Jeremy Martino, Andrew Armstrong, and Matt Jackson. We're doing a little bit of a review of Terracon, an event that happened just last month, I think it was.
Yeah, not too
South
long,
Australia, yep. 80 to 50 points, community comp scaled event. It was a pretty big one actually. It was one of the biggest events that we've attended.
I think we had
this
84 players total, which is pretty big.
Yeah, definitely one of the better events that we've been to. Well, I've been to anyway. We're here to talk about a little bit about Terracon, but more importantly, we want to talk about the list that actually came first. It was actually featured 3 times at the event, which was a pretty big thing. Not very often we see that, but the list came in first.
12th and 13th.
12th and 13th, and they've got a name for it, and I'm going to get Matt Jackson to introduce it for you guys.
It's the Battle Bots and Legions, so yeah, we came up with that pretty much on the spot, I would like to think.
Yeah,
but it did well, so.
AKA?
Legions!
Bravo, sir, well done.
Oh, that's good.
So yeah, it was a pretty impressive list. It's very polarizing in many ways. We're going to go through the nitty gritty of it a little bit. I guess I'll turn it over to Jeremy. Like, what are your thoughts on the overall build?
Well,
why don't you give us a rundown first?
Well, before obviously we'll get the boys to rationalise the list themselves, but before we do that, we'll read the actual list out. So we had Cohort Cybernetica here. In the Cohort Cybernetica we had, obviously it comes with the double Castellan robot maniple. So a total of 4 robots. They have the heavy phosphor blasters, and then the twin-linked heavy phosphor blasters. Then we have the Tech Priest Dominus with raiment of the Technomata, and then a Cybernetica Data Smith with Anzion's Pseudo-Genitor. Someone knows what they're called.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain what those relics do?
Yeah, so the raiment of the Technomata, we put on one of the, just on the little Techno Priests. It gives them a 2+ armor save and allows the entire unit to snapshot at BS2.
Yep.
So we thought that might deal with any flyers we run into, that kind of stuff. The Pseudo-John, that word.
Pseudo-Genitor?
Yeah, Pseudo-Genitor. It's basically an extra D6 attacks in combat at strength 4.
Okay.
At its base strength. The reason we put that on the Warlord, the reasoning was one of these Warlord traits you can roll is Haywire, all his attacks become Haywire.
Okay, that's
so it's an extra D6 Haywire attacks, which is quite good.
And did you guys re-roll for that Warlord trait if it was?
We actually don't get a reroll.
Okay.
We actually didn't get a reroll because it wasn't a
like a cat
or anything
formation
thing. So a lot of our Warlord traits actually do nothing.
Yeah.
Per se, there's only 3 that really do much in that list.
So you've got the double. There's 2 Data Smiths in there, right?
Yeah, 2 Data Smiths that come in the unit. The way we built the unit was we had 2 with heavy phosphor cannons on the shoulder, and 2 with the heavy incinerators, which are the Torrent Flamers, and with the Snapfire at BS2, it allows us the Wall of Flames to always be a 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that's very good defensively, obviously.
It's a pretty compound little unit there.
Yeah, we'll discuss that unit in more detail. Yeah. And then we've got Legion of the Damned. So you've got 2 Legion of the Damned detachments. Yep. And are all the units homogeneous? No.
We had 4 units with multi-melter, melter gun, combi melter.
Mm-hmm.
They're all 5-man units. We had 1 5-man unit with multi-melter, plasma gun, combi plasma.
Yep.
And then we had a 10-man unit with multi-melter, plasma gun, combi plasma.
Yeah, so you've got a mix of the combi weapons, special weapons. Any reason why you guys didn't go with any of the combi grabs? Wasn't something you wanted to go with?
Not really. We just like the idea of melters mostly.
Just lots of strength.
Yeah, I've always run the combi as the same as the special. I think it's just a force of habit for me really, and I haven't really used grav in a lot of games, so I don't know if I rate it. I just don't really.
I guess because you wanted to synchronise the weapon type.
Yeah, it makes sense to synchronise weapons.
I just didn't really think about it to be sure like it. Yeah. Grav's relatively new for me. I mean, I've been playing the game for 13 years, and Grav's been around for like a year and a half. So I didn't really.
It's not really a 23-year-old dog in 40k.
Yeah, I like to think of myself as an old dog, but.
Well,
anyway, always a young dog in the scene.
Yeah, that's it.
So obviously you got that 1 big unit, 5 MSU units. They all come down on turn 2.
No.
So
they come down.
They roll.
Yeah, they roll.
Sorry, my bad. They start coming down.
There's no reroll.
We didn't have any reserve manipulations, so they can come down turn 2.
So technically, at the start of the game, you guys had 1 unit on the board.
Yeah, 7 models.
It made deployment so easy
and difficult. at the same time.
So I heard you guys mentioning that you kind of, you put the kind of gauntlet to people and said, come go ahead and try to table me.
Yeah.
Obviously, no one succeeded with that turn one tabling.
No.
I don't think many people could have succeeded at the best of times.
So at this point, why don't you guys explain what this cohort cybernetica does and what makes it so hearty?
Well, we worked out for someone to table that unit in a round of shooting, they need to put on 54 wounds on that unit, which I think is really tough because they're all toughness 7.
So you have FNP on the robots?
The whole unit has FNP. The Data Smiths and the Cybernetica Dude, Dominus, all has Feel No Pain built in.
So when you say they all have FNP, they only get FNP when you activate the FNP rules.
No. They come with it to start with, as the formation. All Castellan robots come with that to state up, and then you change the battle protocols for them.
Oh, okay.
So
that's good.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you go first or the opponent goes first.
You
will always have.
They start in Feel No Pain stance.
That's great.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so what else? So you've got a unit that obviously puts out a lot of shooting. What are these profiles on the heavy phosphorus blasters?
So heavy phosphor blasters, they're all strength 6, AP3, 3 shots each, 36-inch range for both of them. The ones on the fists, which we obviously don't take the power fist, we replace the guns. They become twin linked. So coming out of that unit, we have 12 non-twin link shots, and then another 12 twin link shots.
6 twin links. 6.
6.
6 non-twin links because we had 2 with the flamers to avoid a community credit.
Sorry.
Andy's been rolling this unit lately with all phosphors,
Yeah.
so it's just easy to force habit really. So there's just slip of time.
So that was obviously the decision to take like the phosphor blasters mixed with the torrent flamers, dodging the community credits there.
Well, originally yes, and then as we actually played we played I think about 15 odd practice games with this list and found out that the flamers were just plain better than
Incinerators,
having those 2 extra flamers were just really, really good for this army.
What AP is the flamer?
It's just standard flamers.
Strength
Strength 4, AP 5.
Okay. Yep.
The funny thing is about those practice games, we played 15 practice games, I think 11 times the list lost.
12.
12?
I think Ben won 2, with Ben's the other guy that we
Yep.
run this. Ben won 2 and I think you won 1. I lost every single game with this list before we took it to the tournament. Mind you, I only played I think 2. I let the other guys play test it a fair bit, so I avoided that challenge.
So you guys mentioned that obviously this is a list that was low in community comp credits.
Mm-hmm.
I think it ticked in at 3.
2.
2. Okay, so but you built it. Obviously, you knew you were going to get a score well on comp, but you built it targeting a specific kind of list or combination of lists.
We're on the way back from a MegaCon, where a certain person, not mentioning names, Jeremy, managed to pants both Matt and myself.
Pants is
Okay.
not the word I'd use.
He pantsed me.
I forgot one rule, and I think I would have been alright if I did forget the rule.
Did you lose though?
I lost. I'm not gonna lie. I was bitter.
Anyway,
I was salty.
Anyway,
I'll remain objective.
and we basically built the list to just combat Tau suits and their
stupid cover saves.
stupid cover saves at all times. So we've just gone.
So Shadow Sun or
Shadow
just
Sun,
being
Ghost Kills was another one. Anyone running a Ghost Kill would struggle for the sheer fact of you can snapshot with 1 unit, but we have 6 units that have ignores cover. So there was drop 3 units next to it. One of them's not going to be hitting on 3s. The rest of it's just going to kill the unit of Ghost Kills.
Yeah, and obviously Ghost Kills, if they do decide, obviously a lot of people that run units of 2 Ghost Kills will use them as a bit of a combat.
They're
not very good against LOPD, obviously.
No, I had a unit of 5 Legion of the Damned stand in combat with a Ghost Kill for 5 turns.
Yeah.
So
perfect example. Okay, so the Legion of the Damned, obviously you're supporting kind of MSU. Were you dropping them on objectives, or were you how were they being used as a pure offensive unit?
I think we were using
a bit of half and half. I personally was dropping them in positions where I could get more than 1 target with every single Legion squad. So if I shot, I'd drop, if the opponent had 6 units on the table, I'd drop each unit to try and be able to shoot 2 different ones. Because then if the first one kills it, then the second one can nail the next one, and it chains down the line. Whilst also being mindful, not necessarily dropping on objectives, but being mindful of where they are.
Yeah.
So that, because Legion of the Damned is slow and personal, they can't run. So you need to be 9 inches from an objective at the end on your last turn. You can't pull something out your ass. You can't turbo boost with jet bikes. You're slow, so you have to be mindful of where they are.
Now with the sequencing of shooting, obviously your cohort cybernetica has like kind of split fire through the data smiths, enabling them to split. So do you want to explain that rule and then explain how you sequence your shooting?
So basically, the way the cohort works with the split fire, each of the one of the data smiths and the dominus can forego their shooting attacks. If they do so, one robot can fire at a different target. So technically, the unit can shoot at 4 different targets if it wants. The way I did it is I shot on my Legion first, left units on 1 or 2, and then decided where I needed to shoot the cohort. Because basically the way I did it was very similar with the deep striking, but I used the Legion to try to funnel people's armies into the cohort.
Yep.
That either they got locked in combat with the Legion and just sat there, and the cohort caught up to them anyway, or they had to try and get through the cohort. So...
Okay. Is that ability the one that allows you to split fire? Is that the same one that regains hull points?
No, that's the Dominus. The Dominus has the Adept of the Machine Techno the Messiah, where on a 2+ he can regain a wound to anyone in the unit.
Okay, and that's in addition to allowing a model to split fire as well?
Yep.
Okay, so a lot of versatility there.
Yeah, so the way it does, he foregoes 1 shooting attack.
Yep.
So he has 2 guns. He has his macro cannon at strength 6, AB4, with deflagrate, which is a rule very rarely seen in 40k these days.
Yep.
And his macro pistol, which is a 5-shot pistol. Forego one of those shooting attacks, regain the wound, and then you forego all his shooting attacks to split fire.
Right. And deflagrate is the one that causes 2 wounds on.
So if I do a wound to you, then I get an additional automatic hit at that strength and AP. It only does it once.
So you have to reroll to wound on that.
Yeah, pretty much. It's almost an additional wound.
So it's like a mini version of Tesla, basically.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting.
So the phosphor guns are also the guns that have the reroll charge range rule, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So what they've got 2 special rules, and it was a kind of a happy coincidence when we were making the unit. Is they've got the reroll charge range, like you said, when you do a wound to an enemy, but they've also got the neg-1 cover. So what we ended up doing is you'd shoot the shoulder-mounted weapons on first, and because they're a separate weapon system, if you do a wound with them, a separate weapon system is the twin-linked versions.
Yeah.
So then we got to shoot the twin-linked versions with -1 cover on the opponent. So if you had a rhino behind terrain, you'd get 6 shots, you get a lucky one through. Then when you shoot the 12 shots of the twin-linked, suddenly you're doing like heaps more damage because you have -1 cover already. Then you also get to do the charge, which is the rerollable ones as well.
Yeah, and so the Legion of the Damned obviously would have been benefiting from these rerollable charge range. Did that come up much?
Maybe once or twice.
For the whole tournament.
Okay.
Yeah. Because mostly whatever the Legion looked at was dead by the time they got to charge.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
So
that's good. That's efficient.
Yeah, especially in that last round when I had to kill like 17 vehicles.
Fair.
Yeah, at least your Legion killed the shit they shot.
So why don't we? So obviously, Matt, you won the event. You run us through your last couple of games. Like how obviously once you hit the top tables, you're versing kind of players that are in contention for podiuming themselves. How did you find those last couple of games?
So game 2,
Say
like game 4.
Yeah, game 4.
Started Sunday. I started Sunday going into it after a Saturday of solid drinking. I'm not too fussed about playing, drinking, or anything really. I was just there to have a bit of a rock and roll, and I rocked up to the score sheet, and it's a funny coincidence. I rocked up to the score sheet and I saw this guy's name, and I'm like, who the fuck is that guy? Because I've played tournaments for 5 odd years, and I've been to a lot of them. So I know a lot of people. I'm like, who the fuck's this guy? I haven't played it before, so it's going to be... as soon as I see someone I haven't played before, I'm instantly excited because it's new people to play, and it's a funny game. Rocked up to the table, I'm like, oh yeah, how's it going, mate? Damage. Right, Damage won Terracon 2 years ago with his orcs, and I'm going, here we go. Damage, great guy, great player. And as soon as I rocked up to the table, he hands me a beer, it's 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, alright, let's go. So I played his list, which was the Lion's Blade detachment, which is, he ended up having like 16 objective secured units on the table, which was really hard to deal with when you're not obsec at all.
Yeah.
So I came down, I shot bits and pieces of his army, and then tried to just tie his units up in combat to stop them from getting onto objectives, whilst using other units in my army to get onto objectives. So that was a very solid game again, and then the last game...
So that was obviously a win for you. How was
it close?
It was reasonably close, because I ended up having... I felt bad because I was fighting against someone else who was also like 1 point ahead of me. at the time, and I was trying to peg some points back. So at the end of the game, I turned to David and gone, mate, we need to play this last little combat out. It was like 4 Legion versus like 4 or 5 Tactical Marines. I'm like, can we just play this out? Because if you run away, I'm on the last turn. You run away, I get an extra victory point. I just need to beat him. So I didn't really care about the actual tournament at that point. I was just beating the other 2 guys. So we played it out. I think I got somewhere like 17 or an 18. I think you got 18. I got 17 or something like that. Yeah.
So you guys were both right up there going into the final.
Yeah.
Well,
we played each other round 2.
First round we both got 20s. Then we played each other round 2, which we drew because we just beat it on each other.
Yeah.
We actually ended up very similar dead pile. We had maybe 2 robots left and a unit of Legion left by the time we
like
finished.
very diminished armies. Like we just hammered each other.
And then I think the rest of the tournament we were either sitting 1 point
equal
or 1 point difference.
Yeah.
We were actually. I spoke to Eric going into the last round. We were actually paired up again going into the last round. And he goes, if you guys didn't play in round 2, you would have been playing again.
That would have been even more epic.
I think we would have just told the room to stop playing.
I was a bit sick of Andy by that point because we'd been next to each other the whole tournament. I mean, we lived together and then we go to another state and we're next to each other the whole tournament.
We literally we're either table next to each other the entire tournament or on the same table.
Yeah, which was convenient for the esky that we had.
Or if Matt needed to know rules about this list.
Yeah, which I did.
So alright, so what about your last game? So you went
games,
into the final game. You versing Tau from what I remember.
Yeah, I got the lucky stick. I was playing Tau. So I was playing Tim Roberts, which I had seen around and about for five odd years. I reckon I've seen Tim floating around the tournament scene. Always, I mean, for Terracon for a long time for him, he's been playing the Barrel of Monkeys army, which is hilarious, and he seems to go pretty well with it. And lately he's been playing Assassins, which he's been going really well with as well. So this was the first time I'd seen Tim run a serious army, which is which he was going pretty well with up until that point, obviously, because he was on like 4 wins, I think. And it was a Storm Surge, and then
you had a Farsight bomb.
Farsight with like 4 battle suits and some gun drones, and then
3 hammerheads.
3 hammerheads, and a Skyray in that formation thing, and then another additional Skyray, and then a little floaty platform with a railgun and some Pathfinders and stuff. So
potent list.
Yeah, it was a very solid list.
A bit different to what it usually takes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it took me a lot of time to do anything to that list. I dropped 4 separate 5-man units onto hammerheads and skyrays and failed to kill any of them. And I mean, I've got 3 double tap range melters on every single one of them and ignoring cover, and I failed to actually kill any of them. And then the Storm Surge just tore apart all of the Legion. Couldn't do much to the battle bots because they're toughness 7, and a lot of its shooting is only little bits and bobs.
5, yeah.
But I think in my second turn I killed all of his Pathfinders because I just didn't want Marker Lights going around. And yeah, by the end of it I had 1 Legion, a damn model, and 2 robots and a data smith, I think. Maybe a few more models, and that was about it.
And we were able to kill that Storm Surge?
Yeah, I knocked off 4 wounds in my first turn on it with just the battlebot shooting, and then on the turn I dropped. My 10-man Legion squad that half died on Interceptor shot and did 1 wound. So I think I shot 4 units, the 10-man unit, another plasma gun unit, and the battle bots at it, and I did, I think, 1 wound. So that wasn't great. That wasn't a great feeling. I was looking at.
So how did you pull it back? Like, was it just that he couldn't get through the bots?
Well, I mean, he dropped the Farsight bomb on the bots, and I managed to just charge and wipe them all out because they're monstrous creatures. The little guys have power fists. They eat battle suits really good. And then it was a lot of me just trying to not get shot by smart missiles, which is really hard. So it was me just failing saves, basically, and seeing how many models I had left.
Well, it sounds good, and that wrapped up those games for you. What about you? How did you get last couple of games?
Last couple of games, I'm trying to work out. Last round 4, I played a Khorne Demonkin Slanesh list. It was a really good list. He's a Victorian player. I can't remember his name. But really nice bloke. Unfortunately, he didn't really stand much of a chance, especially against the bot unit, because he has to get into the unit to be able to kill it. He had no shooting in the army whatsoever. 2 Mauler Fiends, but the Legion took care of those. There wasn't much to that game. If you got lucky on 1 or 2 things, it would have been different, obviously, but so be it. Last round, I ran into our lovely friend Ponyboy.
Adam Napier.
Yeah. He was running his battle company. Now, I came up against this list and I'm like, oh, here we go. And I look down and I go, 11 free vehicles. I'm like, oh, awesome. So I ran into, I think it was something like
26
objective secured units on the table compared to my 6, which are non-objective secured. And it was basically just a matter of me, I had to play for a draw. That's the only thing I could do. Obviously, I didn't do it. He did end up tabling, or I conceded at the end of turn 6. I said, that's enough. I had 1 battle bot left and about 2 Legion left. And he had half of his army left.
Yeah, I'd say a fair chunk of it.
Yeah. I just had to try and deep strike and hold one side of the table as best I could and hold off, but obviously I couldn't. And
what a way to fire from the battle.
Oh,
just choose up the Legion.
Much.
The 3-up involves don't really mean much against a battle.
No, but
just chew through it.
And the funny thing is, like, I had 5 Legion squads come down first turn, or second turn. They've killed a vehicle each. The battle bots wiped out the Marines that came out. Like, he was just taking models off the table.
Yeah.
But he just had more.
Yeah.
And so
that's the strength of the battle.
Having played against a battle company again recently, I know that feeling where you're eliminating 5 or more units a turn, and there's still a plethora of units still on the board, and they're all obsec. It's overwhelming. Yeah.
It kind of makes me regret betting Matt by 2 points in the previous round.
Would have been swapped. Well, it is also obviously Adam's list had a lot of assault cannons and grav cannons in those rhinos.
Yeah, grav cannons. He had 2 grav cannons with the new Cataphracti captain, which makes them slow and purposeful, so it gives them 5 shots when they drop.
It's a nice little treat.
He had a few dreadies. His list has been tweaked a lot from when I first saw it to what it is now.
He's been working on that list for quite a long time.
Yeah, so it was always going to be a hard fight no matter who fought him, I think. Well done to Adam for
obviously he went well, and Adam came through, I believe, second, didn't he? Did he pull a second?
I think he came
Ty
third.
Ty Swan.
Ty Swan.
So we had Matt Jackson come in at first, Terracon, then we had Ty Swan second, using the Wraith Host, and then we had
Adam Napier.
And for the record, I believe Ty Swan, he accumulated the highest BP, but he had a high comp.
He had 12 credits spent, and I think he nailed me by about 6, I think, or 7 battle points, as well as a few pain points.
So we can have a brief discussion about Ty's list, just because did you guys know it was in his list?
Yeah, I did another interview with him, so he broke that down.
Okay, well, do you want to have a little? We'll have a very brief little chat about what.
Test this out.
So it was a. Well, you played against
Wraith Host.
Wraith Host. He had the.
So Wraith Host with 2 units of Wraith Guard with the D shot weapons, 1 Wraith Knight with the Sun Cannon. Then he had 2 Wave Serpents, a unit of 2 Vipers. There was a Wraith Lord in the list as well, part of the Wraith Host, obviously, as a Farseer, Spirit Seer, part of the Wraith Host.
And
then
combat
there was
combat
Wraith Guard as well. And then there was also a unit of the Shadow Weaver artillery.
Did he have
any bikes
at all?
Yeah, 2 units of bikes with scatters, just running them in like the 4 with 1 scatter. Yeah.
Cool.
I think that's pretty much it that he had.
Insanely,
the amount of shooting that list puts out is crazy.
And so for the record, I think he had a lot of scatter lasers as options on things like the Wraith Lord.
Yeah, I think he made up, because he had a lot of the strength D weapons and like the big shots. He made up a lot of his little shooting, which is I like to call it little shooting, which is those little shitty units,
like the Wraith Knight shoulders.
Yeah, the Wraith Knight shoulders, the Vipers, the jet bikes that just pick off that 1 or 2 models that you have left over from your big stuff. Which is just. It is a paramount unit in any kind of army to have those floating around.
Yeah.
So he did that well.
And you guys would know from this unit how relevant Strength 6 shooting is. Obviously, lots of Strength 6 shooting. Elder have a lot of access.
Pretty efficient.
To it. Very. It hits a lot of things.
It's a good middle ground for Yeah.
Like you can
what
win
you
marines
do.
on 2s, but then you can put shots into rhinos and stuff.
Yeah,
It's
you can
expensive.
king monstrous
IDT3.
creatures well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so Scuttle Laser is obviously, you know, one of the best weapons in the game in terms of their efficiency and their ability to just, like, you can get a lot of them in an army, and obviously Ty Swan capitalised on that when he wrote his list.
And obviously he had like the things we discussed at previous videos. He had like lots of toughness 8, Wraith Knight, Wraith Lord. He had this toughness 6, Wraith Guard. Wave Serpents are good. Just a very powerful, strong army, reflected by the comp score. But he obviously played it very well.
One of his tech choices, which I was really impressed with, was the decision to take the I think it's the it's not vectored retro thrusters. What's it called? Where you can
Star engines
on his Wave 7, so you can move them up.
It could be vectored engines actually. I think Star engines is
Vectored engines.
Yeah,
Star engines later turbo boost.
Yeah,
and
my
shoot.
bad.
So it is vectored
Think.
engines.
Yeah,
So,
it's one
so
of the two.
It would move up 6, obviously flip the Wave Serpent around and then disembark his D shot 6 inches. It like with the length of a Wave Serpent, it gave me an extra 6 inches of threat range on those D shots, which was very, very effective. I don't doubt.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it was great. That was the list that came in second. We've already touched on Battle Company in the past. We won't really talk too much about Adam Napier's list. And this one here came first. So yeah, well done.
Well, thanks boys. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for having
I
us.
hope to be doing future interviews as you continue to podium going forward. Good luck.
And congratulations on the win and the placings.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No worries. Well, we'll
Can
see you around.
Can we spruik our tournament this
Yeah,
week?
let's do a spruik as
Yes,
well.
Yeah.
It's going to be up by the time.
Yeah, no, he'll post it by this
We'll get
week.
this up very soon.
So the event that's coming up is Slumber Hammer. It's coming up this weekend. It's on the Friday night,
Friday night.
Saturday night.
Yep.
Of the dates being the
Well, today's what, the 4th, so the 8th and 9th, I think.
8th and 9th. So the 8th and 9th of
Saturday and
July.
Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday this
Time.
weekend.
Friday,
coming
Saturday
up.
night, yeah.
$50
Friday,
entry.
House of War.
House of War.
All proceeds go to the ETC team. For anyone that doesn't know, it's the European Team Championships. There's 37 countries going. 8 players to a country. And me and Andrew are both on the team. So all the proceeds for that are going to go by. Basically, it's going to all the Australia. It's the Australia gear. No, it's basically for the Australia gear to represent for Australia.
Yep.
So like we get the team shirts and that kind of stuff. So it's to represent Australia and Australian wargaming. So the it's 1850 and it's community comp again. So it's 8 credits.
And it's 8
That's Slumber Hammer.
credits.
Slumber Hammer.
8 credits.
Crap. It doesn't take either the critics aren't taken into account for the final score.
Yeah. So take 8 if you got 8.
If you want to take 8, you can take 8. If you take 0, take 0, but they're going to be the same. On the day, we're going to have obviously some other different competitions. We have
raffles.
we'll have Guess the Frogs in the Jar.
Yeah, we got a couple of
We'll give away-
alcoholic ones for the people that are over 18.
Over
Yep.
18s.
Yep.
Yeah, so a bit of a schmozzle of different things to enjoy wargaming with.
And
Yeah.
it
So
just
there's a lot of shenanigans.
Yeah, hopefully. Pajamas are recommended.
Yeah, 'cause it is for
because
those
it
that-
is after work.
Yeah.
For those, it's after work Friday and it goes to about 12 or 2 on Friday.
About 1 o'clock on Saturday morning,
Yep, and then Sunday is from about 12 till 12 again. So pajamas are recommended.
Yeah.
Drinking is also recommended. So yeah, there's a few houses around the place, around House of War that you can stay at if you decide to come down.
Alright guys, so if you
decide to-
can't, obviously get in touch with the boys. We'd love to see you there. Shawn and I will both be there, and obviously we're there to support the ETC team going to Greece
That's
in a couple of months. So what is it actually?
It's actually leaving in 25 days.
Wow,
Yeah,
so
just for the record, the prizes for the Slumber Hammer is just for the record. Anyone who's willing to come down. It's a Imperial Knight painted by a Golden Demon winner. It's a Legion of the Damned squad. Actually, it's one of these Legion of the Damned squads, the green ones.
a tournament winning
Legion of the Damned squad. Yep, yeah, and a fully converted and painted by the Golden Demon player again. Inquisitor and
Retinue.
Assassin Retinue. So so pretty cool prizes.
And cool beer mugs for trophies.
Yeah, and cool beer mugs.
Yeah, trophies, beer mugs and trophies. So yeah.
You'll see us all down there on the weekend. So thanks boys again for coming, and we'll see you next time.
Best of
Alright,
luck.
thanks
Good
for
luck
having
at ETC. Cheers, guys.